Good morning, friends. It's me, Pastor Laura here, and just ready to give our Sunday morning announcements. It's good to be with you all this morning. First of all, if you are new to us or you are unfamiliar with the Mills Church, we are a Reconciling United Methodist New Faith community here in Rocky Mount. The Reconciling Ministries movement is a movement within the United Methodist Church that is all about inclusion and affirmation of our LGBTQ siblings, and they also search um, for ways and avenues of social justice. And so that is a big part of our mission and what we do here. And so when we talk about being a reconciling church, that's what that means, is because we're part of that movement. And so we are a church that loves you, that includes you, that wants you to be here, inclusive of who you are, not, as we often say, in spite of who we are, but we love you inclusive of who you are. And so we hope you know there's a place for you here. One thing to know about the Mills Church is that we are a very informal worship service, as in, come as you are, be dressed as you are, be comfortable, wear your jeans and your t-shirts or whatever it is that makes you feel most yourself. And so we invite you to come as you are, and we mean that. At the same time, one of the things that's different about us is we are kind of a high liturgy church. And so what that means is that we use a lot of call and response liturgy. So when you start the worship service, we'll have a moment where the pastor will say a few words, you're invited to respond, and all of that's always in your bulletin or in the hymnal. But that is part of who we are. We do a lot of liturgy, a lot of call and response. And so we are informal but high church at the same time in that regard. And so all of that to prepare you for when you join and worship with us. Of course, we always invite you, if it's easiest, to join us online, to experience the church and kind of see what we're all about. But we also really love when you come in person and we get to know you and really have that experience with you. For our online people, one thing I did want to mention first along those lines is we serve communion every Sunday at the Mills Church. And the way we do communion is that you receive the bread, you dip it into the cup, and that is called intinction. It's how most United Methodist churches do it, except for on some different occasions where we might switch it up a little bit. But that's how we do it. And communion is open to everyone. You do not have to be a member of the church to receive communion. You don't have to come every Sunday to receive communion, but it is open to everyone. So if you're visiting for the first time and you see communion and you're like, oh no, I don't know what to do, just follow the crowd. We'll give you a piece of bread, invite you to dip it into the cup. And the altar rail is always open during that time if you want to kneel and pray, but it is certainly not a requirement. And most of our people honestly don't. But every once in a while, someone will just take the moment to kneel at the altar. And so we invite you, if that is something that's comfortable for you, to have that space to do so as well. Worship this morning is at 10:30. I hope that you will consider joining us. For our online friends, those of you who are mostly online with us, whether it's through our streaming on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or whether it's joining us for various things and sharing posts on Instagram and Facebook, we would like to hear from you. And so a lot of you are really awesome about commenting and letting us know you're here or sharing videos, but we want to engage with you too. And so some of the ideas we've been tossing around is how to provide communion elements for our online friends, or how to provide resources for our online friends. So if you are someone who watches us online, worships with us online, I invite you to send the church a message or send me a message personally, so that we can talk to you and kind of hear what some ways are that you can engage with us. We do have Bible study on Tuesday nights online. And so for our online people and our in-person people, that's a great way for all of us to be together and meet. That Bible study is a very flexible sort of run through of the book of James for this month. Next week, we'll be talking about the Psalms. And the month after that, we're going to talk about the social principles. Again, hopefully the revised social principles after General Conference, but we'll see what happens. And so that's a very informal gathering. We invite you to join us. And if you can only come once in the month, that's okay. If you can come every Tuesday, that's amazing. But we want you just to come when you can. And so for our online people, that's another great way to engage with us. And we hope that you will consider joining us for that as a chance to kind of get to know everybody and have that fellowship time together. Coming up this week, I do want to mention yesterday we had an awesome art sale and food truck rodeo, and a huge thanks to our artist and to Tanisha Williams for putting that together. It was incredible. And our next one will be May 25th, so save the date for that. But we had tons of people show up, and it was just really great to get to meet some new people in our community, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Coming up this week, we will have Bible study on Tuesday night, as I mentioned, continuing with our study of James. This week, we're going to be studying James 1, which is also our topic for our sermon this morning. And it's all about standing firm in our faith and standing firm in who we are and staying strong in the midst of trials and temptations and all of those things that we face. And then next week on April 24th, Pastor Renee will have Wings on Wednesdays at Moe and D's from noon to 1. That's a Dutch treat. Just sort of show up as you can event. I will have Coffee with the Pastor this Wednesday at 10 o'clock, from 10 to 12 at Books and Beans as well. So last week we had to shift because of a meeting that popped up. And so hopefully that won't happen again this week. But the plan is to have Coffee with the Pastor on Wednesday of this week. Good morning, Renee. And she said, good morning, Mark. I don't see Mark, but hi, Mark. Good to see you all this morning. All right, friends, that's it for today. I want to keep it short and sweet, but I invite you to join us for worship at 10:30. If you are a singing, music-y kind of person, I invite you, if you are interested, to come join us for praise team rehearsal at 9:30. We always just meet right before church and kind of run through our music for the day. So if that's something that interests you, come hang out with us at 9:30. And then again, worship at 10:30 online and in person. All right, friends, I look forward to seeing you this morning, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday.